Welcome to English Spark, the podcast.
You know what? Every single company in the world, whether it's a small shop on the corner or a giant international brand, is always asking one big question. How can we sell more? That's really the heartbeat of every business, because no sales means no business at all.
Exactly. And in English, one of the most common and powerful expressions we hear in business meetings is drive sales. It's a simple phrase, but it carries a lot of energy. To drive sales means to increase sales, to push them forward, to make them grow. This is something every business person needs to understand.
Right. For example, a manager might say, "We need to drive sales this quarter." It's just another way of saying we must sell more products in the next 3 months. It's more dynamic, more motivating.
And you'll hear it not only in meetings, but also in marketing strategies, advertising campaigns, and training sessions. It's everywhere in the business world. And the best part is, when you use phrases like drive sales, your English instantly sounds more professional and more connected to real business life.
That's true. And here's something really useful for learners. Instead of only saying increase sales, which is correct, but a little plain, you can use words like boost or grow. For example, we need to boost our sales with a new promotion, or we want to grow our sales by improving customer service. Both of these sound natural and impressive.
Yes, that's such a good point. Many learners fall into the habit of using the same word again and again. They always say increase, increase, increase. But in real English, variety is powerful. Using drive, boost, grow, or even expand makes you sound not only smarter, but also more confident.
And don't forget, confidence in the words you choose is key. In business, the way you present your idea is sometimes just as important as the idea itself. If you use strong, professional language, people take you more seriously.
Absolutely. Imagine your boss asks in a meeting, "What can we do to drive sales?" If you only say, "We can increase sales," it sounds too simple. But if you say, "We could boost our sales with a seasonal promotion," or "We might grow our sales by building stronger customer loyalty," suddenly you sound like a problem solver.
Exactly. That's the power of learning natural business English. It gives you the tools to express ideas more clearly and more persuasively.
And listeners, that's why this kind of practice is so valuable. It's not just about memorizing vocabulary. It's about sounding natural, confident, and ready for real-life situations.
And if this conversation is helping you learn something new, remember to share it with your friends, subscribe for more, and like the video so you can keep improving your English step by step every single day.
You know, one of the biggest challenges companies face is choosing how to drive sales. There are so many strategies: lowering prices, offering promotions, improving product quality, or even changing how you talk to customers. Each choice can completely change the results.
That's right. And in English business meetings, people often use very specific language when they talk about strategies. For example, instead of just saying, "We need to sell more," they might say, "We need a clear sales strategy." That word strategy is powerful. It shows planning, not just ideas.
Exactly. And here's another phrase, concrete solutions. When a manager says, "I want concrete solutions," it means they don't want general ideas like, "Let's try harder." They want real, specific, and practical actions. For example, let's launch a 2-for-1 promotion to attract more customers. That's a concrete solution.
I love that example. And speaking of promotions, in English, the word promotion doesn't always mean getting a better job. In business English, it often means a marketing offer, like buy one, get one free, or 50% off this weekend.
Yes, and those promotions are often used to match the competitors. That's another great phrase. It means to be as good as or even better than other companies in the same market. So if your competitor sells a product for $10, you might lower your price to $10 as well, just to match them.
And sometimes managers will say, we are the most expensive in the market. That simply means, compared to all the other companies, their prices are higher. The phrase in the market means in the industry or in the field of competition.
These expressions are so common in business conversations. Imagine being in a sales meeting where your boss says, "Our plan will never fly." That's another idiom. It means the plan won't work. It's not practical. Learners should know that one because it's used a lot in informal business talk.
Absolutely. And the way you react in a meeting is important too. For example, instead of saying, "I think this idea is good," you can say, "That's a brilliant idea." Or, "That's something we should definitely consider." Those sound stronger and more professional.
Yes, and those little changes make a huge difference. If you want people to listen to your ideas, you need to use confident and natural language. That's why practicing phrases like these is so useful.
And that's exactly why our listeners should keep practicing with this so they can walk into any meeting and sound ready, smart, and professional. And if you're finding this valuable, remember to like, subscribe, and share with your friends, because this is the kind of English that really opens doors.
One thing I find fascinating is how language shapes the mood of a meeting. If someone says, "We have a problem with sales," the energy feels heavy and negative. But if they say, "We have an opportunity to drive sales," suddenly it feels more positive and exciting. It's the same situation, but the words change how people think.
That's so true. And learners should pay attention to this because in English, your choice of words can motivate or discourage your team. Using words like opportunity, solution, strategy, and growth makes you sound optimistic and professional.
Exactly. For example, instead of saying, "Sales are bad," you could say, "Sales are challenging right now, but we're exploring strategies to boost them." See how that sounds stronger? It shows you're aware of the problem, but also ready to act.
And that's what good managers do. They use language that encourages people to share ideas. If a manager only says, "That's a bad idea," employees will stop talking. But if the manager says, "Interesting point, let's consider another angle," people feel respected and keep contributing.
Absolutely. That's why business English is not just about vocabulary. It's about tone, attitude, and confidence. Imagine you're in a meeting and someone suggests lowering prices. Instead of just saying, "I don't agree," you can say, "I see your point, but I'm not sure lowering prices will drive long-term growth. Maybe we should explore a promotion instead." That's polite, clear, and professional.
I like that example. And notice how you used drive long-term growth. That's a phrase managers love to hear. It's not just about selling today. It's about building a future for the company.
Exactly. And learners, here's a tip. When you're speaking in English meetings, always try to add words that show forward thinking, like long-term, strategy, competitive, customer loyalty. These words make your English sound sharper and more business-like.
Yes, and don't be afraid to use short but powerful phrases too. For example, "That idea will never fly," or "We should consider new options." These are simple, but they make you sound natural and confident.
And that's the goal. Not just to learn English, but to use English in a way that motivates people, builds respect, and creates real results. And if this is inspiring you, make sure you subscribe, share, and leave a comment about which business phrase you'd like to practice next.
You know, one of the most exciting parts of sales meetings is when new ideas come to the table. Sometimes people suggest lowering prices. Sometimes they suggest launching a promotion. And other times it's about changing the way the company connects with customers. What's really important is how you express those ideas in English.
Exactly. Because the same idea can sound weak or powerful, depending on the words you choose. If you just say, "We can reduce prices," it sounds flat. But if you say, "One possible strategy to match the competitors is to lower our prices temporarily," suddenly it sounds much more professional.
Yes, that's why phrases like match the competitors or stay competitive in the market are so valuable. They're not just words, they're tools that help you communicate in a business-like way. And here's another one, customer loyalty. It's when customers keep buying from you again and again. In a meeting, you might say, if we want to drive sales, we need to build stronger customer loyalty.
That's a really strong point. And learners should notice that in English, we often combine simple words to create powerful expressions like drive sales, boost growth, build loyalty. These combinations sound natural and make your language more professional.
And here's something practical for learners. When you join a meeting, don't just say, I think this is good. Instead, try, that sounds like a brilliant idea, or this strategy could be very effective for our sales. These small changes give your English a huge boost.
Yes, and when you say brilliant, it makes the idea sound stronger than just good. It shows energy and enthusiasm, and managers love that.
And enthusiasm matters. In fact, sometimes your positive attitude can convince people even more than the idea itself. That's why using motivating language is such an important skill for business English learners.
Absolutely. And listeners, keep in mind, if you practice these phrases often, you'll be ready to use them naturally in real meetings. And don't forget, if you find this conversation useful, share it, like it, and subscribe so you can keep growing your English skills and your confidence.
You know, one thing I really enjoy about business English is how much variety there is in the way people express ideas. Take the word promotion, for example. Many learners think it only means getting a better job, but in sales meetings, it usually means something completely different.
That's true. In business conversations, a promotion is a marketing tool. For example, buy one, get one free, or 20% off this week. These promotions are designed to attract new customers and to encourage people to buy more.
Exactly. And here's the interesting part. Promotions are not just about lowering the price. They're also about psychology, making customers feel like they're getting extra value. That's why in meetings you might hear phrases like, a promotion could drive sales quickly, or this promotion will make us more competitive in the market.
And that phrase, in the market, is so useful. It means in the industry, in the business world you're competing in. You could say, our product is the most affordable in the market, or we need to study what other companies in the market are doing.
Right. And when you combine phrases like promotion, in the market, match the competitors, you really start sounding like a professional in English. It's not about difficult words, it's about the right business expressions.
And here's another powerful one, competitive advantage. That's when your company has something better than others, maybe lower prices, maybe better quality, maybe faster delivery. You can say, this strategy will give us a competitive advantage in the market.
I love that. And learners should try practicing sentences with these expressions. For example, we need a promotion to match the competitors and gain a competitive advantage in the market. It's a simple sentence, but it sounds very natural in a business setting.
And the more you practice like this, the easier it becomes to speak in meetings. So next time you talk about sales, try using drive sales, promotion, in the market, and competitive advantage. These are the building blocks of strong business English.
Exactly. And remember, practice doesn't just improve your vocabulary, it builds your confidence. And confidence is what helps you speak clearly, share your ideas, and really stand out in meetings. And if this feels useful to you, don't forget to like this, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more lessons that can take your English to the next level.
You know what's interesting? In almost every sales meeting, you'll hear managers ask for concrete solutions. And that's a really important phrase for learners. It means they don't want just vague ideas like, we should try harder. They want real, specific actions that can be done right away.
That's a great point. For example, saying, let's lower our prices to match the competitors is a concrete solution. Or, let's launch a 2-for-1 promotion this weekend to attract more customers. Both are specific, realistic, and easy to understand.
Exactly. And if you only say, let's improve sales, that's too general. Managers will usually respond with, how? So when you're speaking English in a business setting, always try to give your ideas in a concrete way.
And learners should remember that adding clear details makes their English stronger. For example, instead of saying, "We need a promotion," you could say, "We could offer a 15% discount for new customers to build loyalty." That sounds professional and shows real thinking.
Yes, and another useful expression is, "it will never fly." This is an informal but very common way of saying that idea won't work. So if someone suggests something unrealistic, like, "let's sell ice cream in the middle of winter," you could say, "that will never fly."
That's such a great phrase. It's short, natural, and something native speakers say all the time. Learners who use it will definitely sound more fluent.
Absolutely. And notice how phrases like concrete solutions and "it will never fly" are not just vocabulary, they're part of real business culture. They show how people think and communicate in meetings.
And when you bring those phrases into your own English, you don't just sound correct, you sound persuasive and professional.
Exactly. And listeners, if you want to make your English more powerful in business situations, start practicing these phrases in your daily conversations. And of course, make sure to like this lesson, subscribe for more, and share it with others who want to improve their business English.
You know, another phrase that really makes a difference in business meetings is "to consider." It sounds simple, but it's so powerful. Instead of saying, "we are thinking about something," you can say, "we are considering something." And that immediately sounds more professional.
Absolutely. For example, you might say, "we are considering a new sales strategy," or "we should consider offering free delivery to attract more customers." The word consider shows careful thought, not just a casual idea.
Yes, and here's a tip for learners. If you want to sound confident, avoid always saying, "I think." It's okay sometimes, but you can sound stronger if you say, "I believe we should consider this option," or "one thing to consider is how our customers will react." These phrases make your English richer.
And it's interesting how just one word can change the tone. Saying, "I think about it" sounds a bit uncertain, but "I will consider it" sounds polite, serious, and professional.
Exactly. And another really strong word to use in meetings is brilliant. Instead of always saying "good idea," try saying "that's a brilliant idea." It gives energy, and it makes the speaker feel appreciated.
And learners should know that brilliant is often used in British English, but people everywhere understand it. It makes your reaction stronger. For example, "this is a brilliant plan to drive sales." That sounds much more exciting than just "this is a good plan."
Yes, and in business, energy matters. If you support someone's idea with words like brilliant, excellent, creative, you build a positive atmosphere in the meeting. People feel encouraged, and they share more ideas.
And that's how companies grow, through communication, motivation, and the right choice of words.
Exactly. So if you're learning English for business, try replacing simple words like good with stronger ones like brilliant or excellent, and replace thinking with consider. You'll notice how quickly your English starts sounding sharper and more professional.
And if you're finding these tips useful, make sure you share this with your friends, hit like, and subscribe so you can keep learning more expressions that really help in real meetings.
You know, one of the most powerful ways to sound natural in business English is by using short, everyday expressions that native speakers love. For example, "be here any minute." It's so simple, but it's way more natural than just saying, "he will arrive soon."
That's true. Imagine a meeting where someone says, "the CEO will be here any minute." It creates a little sense of urgency, right? Everyone starts paying attention, preparing their ideas because the boss could walk in at any second.
Exactly. And that's why these little phrases are important. They carry emotion and rhythm. If you only use textbook English like, "he will arrive shortly," it sounds correct, but a bit robotic. But "he'll be here any minute" feels alive, just like real conversation.
And here's another one. "It sounds like something we should consider." That's such a natural way to agree politely in a meeting. Instead of only saying, "yes, that's good," you can say, "that sounds like something we should consider." It's professional and respectful.
Yes, and learners can use this in any situation, not just business. For example, if your friend suggests a new restaurant, you can say, "That sounds like something we should consider." It's flexible, natural English.
And don't forget the word creative. In meetings, if you want to motivate someone, you can say, "That's a very creative idea," or "I like your creative approach." Simple words, but they make people feel valued.
Exactly. Business is not only about selling, it's about communication, teamwork, and motivating each other. The right words can make your team feel strong and ready to act.
So, for learners, here's the tip. Try practicing sentences with "be here any minute," "consider," and "creative." These are the kinds of phrases that will make your English sound both professional and natural.
And if you're enjoying learning these powerful phrases, don't forget to share this podcast, like it, and subscribe, because small steps like this can really transform the way you speak English in real life.